everybody. Weekly wrap-up, October 12th, 2012. Things are moving right along. Lots of material coming your way, as you shall see soon. I've got a vibrato course coming up. Can start releasing the advanced vocal course and talking about what you really are going to learn in that course coming up soon. But I've been enjoying talking to you, and as I have been in the past few wrap-ups, talking to you about vocal cord vibration, talking to you about resonance, talking about ring, and how they really work in relationship to the human voice, and giving you some of the technical terms, and talking about the parts of the voice like the trachea and the in your Adam's apple, your voice box here is where your vocal cords are, and then the epilarynx tube and the pharynx and the nasal pharynx, and how all of those things play a part. Also want to talk to you a little bit about just flat out health of the voice, and I want to talk about that a little bit today. I want to talk about health of the voice because all of those parts I just mentioned need maintenance, and you need to understand how things can go awry and what you can do to help them not go awry. Let's start by the fact that there's something called reflux. And what is reflux? Reflux is a little bit of the acids that are in your stomach coming back up and getting on your vocal cords. That can happen very easily at night when you are, if you go to bed kind of late and you eat a big meal and then you lay horizontally, this reflux can come up. Now it could come up almost like, you know, not to be gross here, but almost like vomit. It could come up in just like little spitty things from something that you've eaten. But quite often, that's not what happens at all. What happens instead is that it comes up, but it's so minute that you don't believe it's reflux that's giving you the problem. You wake up in the morning, or you think you're starting to feel hoarse, you're not really sick, your voice feels weaker than normal. Quite often that can be reflux. And what can you do about it? Well, any antacid, if you have to eat late at night, make sure that you take an antacid to take away some of those burning qualities in the reflux. That's one of the things that you can do. The best thing you could do is not eat a gigantic meal and immediately go to bed and lay down, because that's where the biggest problems are. So give yourself a few hours to digest your food before you go to sleep if possible. That's the best thing you could do. Second, hydration. Everybody knows that hydrating yourself is an important thing, and you know, in any sport you're always being told to hydrate. But listen, this stuff is called mucous membrane. It's wet and spongy, and you need to keep it really wet and put it in an environment of plenty of hydration. Drink plenty of water. You don't have to drown yourself, but make sure that you space your water intake during the day in an even kind of a way. So it's not like just hurrying up and drinking a whole bunch of water one moment. Then don't drink water at all for 4 hours. Not at all. You're better off to be drinking and sipping water during the day if that's possible for you. Keep yourself hydrated, extremely important. Next, nutrition, and of course, nutrition, food. This is a machine. Everything in here is a machine. Getting the blood to flow in your body. All of these things. Good eating habits, good nutrition, so you're not bombarding yourself with sugars and constant carbs, which is, you know, even for long-term health, you don't want to do those things. But you really don't want to do those things when it comes to singing. You got to be careful. I always tell everybody, it's not my rule, it's nature's rule, but basically here's how it works. If you add water to the system, it's good. If you do something that depletes that water from the system, it's negative for your singing. Meaning anything caffeinated, Cokes or coffee or any of these caffeinated drinks that takes water out of you, it's going to dry you out. Anything with salt in it, lots of salt, you don't want to do that as well. Now I know that takes away all the fun in life, and of course everything is a balance, and everybody's body is a walking test tube, and we're all different. You can't just say everybody should do this one thing. But in general health, everybody knows what it is that I'm telling you. You want to keep yourself hydrated, and you want to keep yourself away from extremely salty foods, Keep yourself away from extreme sugars, constantly eating sweets. These things all cause problems with the body, and yes, they actually can weaken the voice. Another thing for better voice use, pace yourself. Pace your voice, even pace your speaking during the day. Rest at times, give your voice a rest. If you're constantly speaking and constantly talking, and if you have a sales job that requires that, then you got to know how to support and make sure that you do the right things. Vocal instructors are talking all the time, and singing and demonstrating, and sometimes even showing students what not to do, which is the worst thing that any vocal instructor can do for themselves, but all of us who really care are always trying to teach our students what to do and what not to do. Anyway, pacing yourself is another good health practice when it comes to singing. And the obvious, avoid yelling. Don't be screaming and hollering. You don't need to. Even when you go to a football game or a game, hold yourself back. Act like you're screaming. Wave your arms around. Let everybody else scream around you, but save your voice if you're a singer. So important. It's just not worth it. When you're practicing, always warm your voice up. Always start with easy warm-ups. I love to talk about the lip rolls and the tongue trills and the hums and the NGs. Just in one place, or even if you can't do that or a tongue trill, then go just do a little NG sound. And notice I'm staying on one note. One comfortable note in your range, regardless of if you're male, female, young or old. Find a place that's comfortable for your voice. Then start to expand it a little bit and stretch it. Or let it come up a little bit more. Nice and easy, and let it shift and let it do what it wants to do. Either of those sounds, hum, anything that feels comfortable. But always take the time. It's so worth your while to warm your voice up before you start to do any hard exercise program for your voice, or if you're going to go out and perform. Any of these things, give yourself anywhere from a minute to 5 minutes of warming yourself up. It doesn't really take long. I really don't need more than about a minute, minute and a half. I know some people like to spend more time than that. And again, you have to know your own body and what it is that works for you. But no matter what period of time you take to warm up, take some time out to warm up. It's so, so important. And it'll save your voice over the long run. This is for longevity of the voice. Also, besides warming up, don't always try to be singing at the extreme parts of your range. Sing in a comfortable place in your range. Find songs, or take the songs and change the keys, but sing the melodies in a very comfortable place in your range. You'll sound better as a singer, and again, it's a health tip for you too, because your voice will last longer because it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. It's working in its natural range. Extremely important. All right, some health tips for you. Hope that gives you some thoughts and ideas. Remember those things, and I shall see you next wrap-up.